Night Madness. Today we're doing a reading for Fire Sign, Sun, Moon and Rising, and we're using the deck of the Fairy Tarot by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Now, the first card I've taken is the Eight of Spring, which is flight. Typically, arrows of love, a new romance for some people. Don't put it where it doesn't fit. This might be not for everyone. This might be for one particular person, and you may have to travel to see them. They may live in a different state or a different country, and it talks about travel by air. It's also stressful. You've got lots of things going on at the moment because we're coming to Christmas. That makes sense to me. You might be just getting your diet in order, your exercise program in order. You might be redecorating your home, as in for Christmas, and getting all the food preparation done. It's fun, but it can be juggling at times. Now, the Ace of Cups talks about a new job, or it can also mean a lump sum of money coming into you. The Ace of Pentacles is in 1 year's time, so it's going to have a bit of a time attached to it. A happy change in your career and a very successful project. It says you're going to get some help with money, advice, or assistance on what to do with this lump sum of money, so that you're not sure about it. You can get advisors to direct you, financial advisors or a legal team to direct with what this lump sum is given to you. And it could be from a death of somebody in recent death, or two recent deaths, or it could also have to do with money that's been earned. Maybe you come into some money either through an inheritance or through a job, because a job is like a fantastic source of income, a new job. So in 1 year's time. Now, the Prince of Autumn, this is in your past, your recent past. This is a knight that's the slowest moving knight in the deck. He's traveling down on that little leaf very slowly and calmly. He's dependable, he's protective of you, he's chivalrous, he's humorous, but he's very cautious and wise. He has meticulous attention to detail and his kindness to others. But everyone thinks that he's not really with it, he's just a very basic person. But see that orb on the end of his stuff? That represents him being someone who is, his mind's always constantly thinking, he's very strategic. He may have got military background. He may be ex-military. So, and that's all about strategy if you're in the Army, Air Force or Navy. Then you've got the recent past is the Princess of Swords. She's inquisitive. She's truthful. She can be very blunt at times. She's got the snow leopard with her. She can be very cold. Some people see her as very cold. But she can detach easily because she's been hurt and she's guarded. Information that can help you, but which may be difficult to hear. Speaking the truth with kindness, an indigo child or adult. Now, if she gets a bit growly, she starts to lash out a bit. That's because she doesn't suffer fools gladly. She reads the room. She may have a strong psychic ability as well, and this is why she can see through the crap that people try to put in and blindside her with. She sees it coming. She will run rings around people without them even realising until after that she's actually put them down in some shape or form, and they didn't pick up onto it later because she's had a subtle dig back at them, but they didn't pick up on it. But yeah, she'll put you in your place. She'll call people out on their crap. She is sometimes a divorcee. She is an Aquarian, Libra, or Gemini star sign. She's very combative and she's very debatable. She may be working law or law enforcement or something into that description. It might not fit, or she might be a government aide, like a detective. Now, the Magician here is an Aries. This represents fire again. It says you can do anything. Take charge of your life. You can manifest whatever is you need to be a success. The Magician is, again, talking about psychic ability. This person, they may be called the rock star of the zodiac because they are bigger than life. They're bigger than Ben-Hur. And if you want help with money, finances, or just help at all, things will just magically turn up. Like, for instance, yesterday, a good example, I was out getting Christmas shopping, and I forgot to get this little packet of dollar Christmas cards. And I thought, I forgot about it because I went to sit down to catch a bus home. And there on the seat was a packet of dollar Merry Christmas cards, which is what I needed. I needed another pack. And it was like I manifested it. I wrote it down but forgot to get it. Just by writing it down, I attracted what I needed. It's called law of attraction. I used to work in makeup, and the biggest company, the best, well, billion-dollar companies I've worked for before, lots of them, but one of them was Estee Lauder. And back in the day when we were going through COVID and everyone was tight with money and things were shutting on, people couldn't afford to run their businesses. They started lowering the prices of Double Wear, which is their number one seller of makeup, because everyone uses it. It's great for coverage, stays put, got a glowy finish. But the one that's stronger than that is called Maximum Cover. You can't use that in weddings because it makes the face go white in wedding makeup. So I tell people don't use Maximum Cover, which most ballerinas use on stage. A lot of dance people used to come and buy it from me. But I used to write down for the Double Wear, it was $50 at the time. I'd write it in the column, as in the next sale, and then next minute I would attract a customer, and they would purchase that $50 that I needed to make my target. It was just magical. So you can write it, you can speak it, or you can sing it. It's our manifestation can come about by you telling someone, I'm going to do this in X amount of months, or I plan on taking a trip. Because you've spoken it out loud, it attracts. It's law of attraction. The next card I've got, and we're going into a 6-year, I might add, and this is the future, the near future, is the Lovers card. So in 2026, you'll meet a ex-military man perhaps, but your health is going to improve. You're going to look after your diet. You're going to look after your exercise. You're going to be very attentive to putting what is good things inside of your body. Your health is going to improve. Maybe you've gone through some hardships and grief recently. I know I've lost three people that were very important in my life. One of them was my grandmother. That was in 2024. My grandfather in 2025. That was in St. Patrick's Day, the day after he died. And then we had my recent death was my auntie Linda, who I didn't think was going to pass from this earth. We were all in shock that she passed away. She had mental health, and everyone in this world has some type of mental health, but it got her to the point where she couldn't come out of this psychosis. I think that's what they call it. I've been in that position before with the wrong medication. It can make you go into a type of psychosis if it doesn't agree with you. So I'm guessing they didn't have the medication right, and I think it stopped her from seeing what was real and what wasn't, and she was seeing things that weren't there. This is what happened with me on antidepressant meds. I can't take any antidepressant meds because I'm one of the 3% of the population that sees things that aren't there, or dead people, is what I used to see. So the Lovers talks about true love that is long-lasting, choices made from the heart. You're going to meet someone. It's a new person, and the Lovers card is a Gemini. They may have Gemini in their chart. It's two people that are very alike. You are like a soulmate. You're going to find this soulmate that is just like you. And I've got here, I'm going to read about them in a minute. I've put here rose quartz, and I've got here bloodstone, because that's return to health. So it's talking about returning to health, coming together with a soulmate who is exactly like you, because you may have similar natal charts. I've got Virgo, and I have in my chart, and I have a strong Aries in my rising sign. So the hour that you were born is usually the rising sign. So I strongly identify with Aries. Very passionate about things, very driven. I'm very focused and very motivated. That's an Aries, and they're go-getters. They have to be number one. If they're not number one, they'll strive to get to number one. When I worked in one of the big companies, Clarins, it was the launch of Double Serum, and it's one of the best products. And it had a relaunch, and we had to try and make sure Double Serum did well, and it did very well. It did so well because I included you get a free facial if you buy 3 products, and we had gift with purchase on, and the launch of Double Serum and the cream that went with it, and I got number one in the state of Brisbane. I was the number one store nationally, so I was pretty happy with that. Now, let me see. The next card I've got is, well, you come up here and read. It's the Queen of Wands. Now, she's brilliant, she's loyal, she's talented, friendly, and you see she's in red, so you could also be talking about an Aries. Believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you maintain a balance between work and home life. So you could be putting a marketing thing, to try and do. You might do marketing. You might be in the marketing business, forecasting future sales and how to achieve them. That's what you do when you have a small business or you are running a small business. You're doing forecasting of events and events management and how you're going to get there and how you're going to achieve those figures between the first quarter, the second quarter, and the last quarter of the year. So you could be doing that. You could be a marketing person. You could host a birthday party. You could be singing and dancing and running and volunteering at a homeless shelter or just volunteering generally. You could do all of that because you're multi-skilled. It also says that you won't be talked out of your opinion easily. You have to convince the person. You have to convince someone has to convince you that they're right, and they have to explain exactly right. You won't budge once you're going to make a decision on something. True story of mine is my mother calls me debatable. I think I'm beyond debatable. 9 of autumn. This is something around you right now. It's talking about you wanting to do your own business. Maybe you have a platform like I'm doing this on YouTube. Maybe you also want to do something like that. And it's saying in the next 9 years it's going to take off. You're going to build a following. And if you do build this following, it could be your own sideline hustle. And being self-employed is possibly your goal. Cherishing your time alone. You've worked very hard, Selfie, to honour yourself in some small or large way. An incentive to keep your forward progress going after all you earned it. Enjoy the fruits of your labours. Do something that feels truly luxurious. So you might want to shout yourself something, for Christmas that you really want. A spa day, or I'm just surmising self-care, like you might want to buy yourself some new oil, which I'm looking at doing because I run out of my Navio relaxation oil, which I use for massage for myself and for my son. Yeah, the effects of people around you, how other people see you in this situation. So some people can see that they can come to you with advice on how to deal with being psychic. I'm looking for advice at the moment. I've got a problem where I can't switch it off. So I've had 2 or 3 near-death episodes, and because I've had near-death episodes, I've come back with my abilities that are just heightened, and they're like off the stratosphere. They are so full on that I can just scroll on my phone and I'll think about this morning, a first aid kit. I have to get my son a first aid kit because he's on the road and he's a disability support worker and he's looking after small children. And I'm thinking to myself, if he's got a first aid kit, he doesn't have to then try and race to the emergency departments. He's done a first aid course. So I might try and get him one of those through the year. Because I've reminded him, but he keeps forgetting to go and get it. And they're only like $20. They're not that expensive, but they're just a basic one. You can also buy them online, St. John's Ambulance. I'm just thinking about as I'm scrolling, looking at Facebook feed. Next minute, there's a picture of how to win a first aid kit. I'm like, that's like 20 second rule, right? So that's how I operate. Or I'll hear a song because I'm wearing a ring that my honey Linda gave me, and I wore it. The day I wore it, all the music she loved came on the radio. So I had Tom Petty, Won't Back Down, and I had Kenny Rogers, and she loves all the country western singers. They all came on that day, and it's like, wow. So it's like she speaks to me through music because I've got clairaudience as well as clairvoyant and claircognitive, so you know something's going to happen before it happens. And the other one is where you get a gut feeling. I call that the vagus gland gets irritated, so you feel something, you don't feel happy, you feel scared in your stomach, and you can't put a finger on it, and then there's a natural event that will happen, like an earthquake or a tsunami, or I wake up at 3:30 in the morning and I'll go Google earthquakes or tsunamis, and it goes onto the page, and then sure as there's somewhere in the world at that time that I've woken up is something natural disaster has happened. So there we go. The Justice card is coming. The next card, and that is your hopes or fears. So your hopes and your fear is this court case, or there's something you have to go through. To review the details carefully, you'll win in the end fair and objective decisions. You may have to fight something in court. It could be to do with an inheritance, because the Three of Swords represents death or separation. You could be separating from a current partner who is not making you happy, or you're not making him happy anymore. And this divorce that could happen will take. it could take place in 3 weeks. It could be that quick, and it's karmic. It was you were meant to go down this path with this particular person, but it was never meant to be a long-term thing. Sometimes you come together for a reason in a season, I call it, because some child has to come through. I never worked out with my partner because he was just a nightmare to live with. But we just didn't. We rubbed each other the wrong way. I'm very strong, and he's very controlling, and I don't deal well with control. I'm a free spirit. I can do what I like, when I like, and how I like. And I have a brain, which I think he was hoping I was dumb. So I just continue to do and work on myself. When we separated, continue to do more courses to get myself employable, but also to keep a focus. I love having a focus. And when I'm upset, I think a focal point is for me to go and study. So I just study. Now I had to because it's part of work. You either work or you study, and that's how the government works. But I've always wanted to study either way. Things that interested me to help benefit my children because I was a single mum. I wanted to make sure I knew the real estate, not because I wanted to be a real estate agent. I did it because I wanted to have knowledge of how to protect myself from A, being evicted, B, being blamed for something I didn't do from the prior house I lived in, who they tried to say that the cracks in the ceiling were from something I did, this stupid real estate agent from Century 21 in Sydney. We lived in Willoughby, the main highway where all the trucks went through. That is not something that I could have done. And I just got so annoyed by that. I was like, right, I'm going to go study that. So after we split up, I went and studied real estate, and then I knew my rights. So now I pull them up on things all the time because I want them to realise that they're messing with the wrong person. They're travelling down the wrong path. I remember clauses from what I read through, you can't go and have an inspection unless you give 2 weeks' notice. You can't come in on a Sunday. They can't come into your house without your knowledge. Just little things like that stuck in my head. And, the law of order. And I had to read, I was very good at property law because that was my focal point. I loved property law. I got a high distinction in property law. You might say you might even decide to go into the legal profession. I've looked at it, but I couldn't because I had 2 children I was raising and I didn't think I could do the job as a lawyer because they work long hours, or being a police officer because they again work long hours because I wouldn't be home for my children. And I thought about real estate. I really wanted to go do it. I thought it would be a really cool job to do. But then the hours usually they don't stop at 5:30. Sometimes they go after. It's after hours stuff that I couldn't do. So that's why I never did it. Not because I was trying to waste taxpayers' money. I actually was going to look into it, but the timing was wrong. My kids were only 3 and 1 and 3. Yeah, so too young. Now we've got here that you may be having surgery as well. As in you've got a broken heart. You need to fix your broken heart. It takes a while to get over these things. And when the music was playing at Lifeline, that's where I work. I volunteer at Hamilton North in Newcastle, Australia. It's a headquarters there. These songs come on and I try not to cry. I just found it very difficult. So it's a big reading for fire signs because I think there's just a lot going on in this reading. Now I'm going to pull some oracle cards, which is, I think a lot of people, if they've lost someone this year, then I feel your pain because it's too hard to get over. It's not something you just get over. It's grief comes in waves. Is what one of these job providers told me. It comes in waves, and you have to try and figure out the ebbs and the flows of grief. And it can affect your, I didn't know this, your taste buds. So you can't taste anything, so you don't want to eat. It can affect your ability to sleep well. It can make you see things that aren't there. When I was separated from my children due to a family breakdown, the one I wanted to see I couldn't see, I would see him walking not far in front of me. I go to call out to him and he wasn't there. They call it widower's grief. I felt like I'd lost him. It's like he was not there. The death of someone may help you see them when they've passed over. I see dead people too. And sometimes I see them in my sleep and sometimes I see them in broad daylight. That hasn't happened for a while. My grandmother passed away in 2024, and I swore I saw her the day of my birthday, sitting across the road, but she was younger and she had a scarf and sunglasses on, and she waved to me. And I was like, oh, there's Nana. And I just, because I missed her so much. She didn't make it to my birthday. She said she wished she had made it to my birthday. And so did my auntie Linda. We have new life. Something new is going to transform you. Oh, double confirmation. Royal heart. So, this is the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. Fantastic deck. I recommend it. I've had it for a couple of years now. But this old deck I've got, it's been with me since 2014. No. Yeah, maybe 2014 I've had this deck. So before the floods, before we had that big flood in Newcastle. So I come home. I moved up to a flood, 2011, when we had that huge flood. And everything was underwater, and all the ferries got knocked off their trees, and I didn't think I had a job because I was moving the week after. And everything was underwater, and I didn't know if I still had the job, but luckily I did. Then I moved back with a flood. So water is my natural element. I do well with water. It helps to calm me. Yeah. So Loyal Heart is 35. So this backs up the Lover's card that I picked up. I haven't read these for a while, so bear with me. Fidelity, loyalty, and devotion. Evidence of loyalty will appear in your life. Others will prove they are faithful to you, and you will in turn commit fully to them. There is a sure and abiding certainty in your heart. Know that Spirit is always loyal to you. No matter the outer circumstances in your life, trust and have faith where you are eternally loved, always divinely protected, and divinely directed. Your partnerships, friendships, and romantic relationships all have many qualities in common right now. Honest devotion, faithfulness, and a loyal heart are being shown to you. Are you as loyal in return? Now is the time for heartfelt commitments and trusting in divine protection. Yeah, your long-term loyalty to your goals is becoming evident. So you are trying to achieve something this next coming year. If you are loyal to your dreams, faithful to your plans, will remain flexible, and devoted to serving others, you'll be shown proof of your true prosperity. Giving back, I call it, which is why I do volunteer work, because it just helps me mentally at the moment. It's too upset to work right now, but it helps me focus on something other than my grief. New life is number 39, so that's 2 cards apart. That means something too, because a 9, that's a 3 card. So this is karmic union, because that's an 8. Yeah, it's karmically blessed union. New life is birth of new ideas, opportunities, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. When spring awakens the world, joy and excitement can be felt all around in the very core. Blossoms burst from trees, blossoms burst from trees overnight. Birds return home and sing their glorious song, and nature is full of promise. Miracles beckon on all of us. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you, and new opportunities bring you hope for seeing your dreams come true. So a new course of action, you might want to study something new. All is well in your world, and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to fill with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, and this is a time of good fortune. New energy enters old relationships, and new relationships are bursting with the sweetness and vibrancy only encountered when winter gives way to spring. This is a time to connect with others and share excitement, passion, and hearts full of joy. This card is very auspicious sign and respect to love and partnerships in all forms. That's nice. Everything will come and fall into place. Opportunities remind you that abundance is available to you. So next year's going to be a good year for fire signs. Okay. Now, this is because I've got a carnelian, which I put on the 8 of spring, which is the flight to a country you're going to fly. And it's also the arrows of love, so it's talking about both of those things. But the carnelian I put there because it's fire, and it's courage, vitality, sexuality, confidence, and action. Carnelian is an orange-coloured variety and a mineral, and it activates the first and third chakras. It'll aid people who wish to have confidence to build their confidence, their courage, and passion. It is of great help to the gentle souls who wish for good things but have difficulty making them happen. Often those who lean in the direction of spirituality do their inner work from the heart chakra up, and ignoring the utility of physical existence associated with the first 3 chakras, as it is narrow, which can make one ineffectual and passive. So instead of being passive, you're going to be taking action. Carrying or wearing carnelian can aid in awakening the vital energies of the 3 lower chakras. It blends well with quartz, jasper, and rose quartz. So those 2 together will work well if it's in your pocket. I carry it around in my pocket. So then we've got Bloodstone, which is what I put on the lovers because it's a return to health. Now, Bloodstone is courage and wisdom, inner strength and willpower. Calms and stabilizes energy, protection, physical healing and health, stimulates mental activity, enhances motivation. So it's a motivational crystal. And then we have Tiger's Eye, which I believe is a Leo. They say if you have two Tiger's Eye, you can't have them in the same room because it's too much, because it's the eyes of the tiger, right? So I've got a tiger in Chinese astrology. I'm a wood tiger, and yeah, the tiger. And he can't handle all of that, all that confidence that the Leos have. But they can be quite over dramatic, and they can be quite assertive and aggressive. You don't want to cross a tiger, right? Water. So we've got rose quartz. Now the rose quartz here, that's the pink one. Yeah, is love, gentleness, emotional healing, release of stress. It's a water. It's a heart chakra. It's good for a water sign as well. So if you've got water placements, like I've got 3 of them, you could use that as well to help balance you. It is a soft and soothing colour. You don't discount its power. Rose quartz is one of the most important stones of our time. It stimulates and opens the heart chakra. It clears the emotional body and assists in the integration and resolution of old emotional programs. Rose quartz is one of the most powerful stones for activation of the human crystal, precisely because of its heart healing properties. As we evolve into a new paradigm, our energetic center is moving from the hara point down the navel to the heart chakra. As this shift takes place, it's highly important to clear and strengthen this chakra. The heart center is the strongest generator of light in the body, even stronger than the brain. So it's talking about using things for your heart to cleanse your heart of grief. They say when you have a broken heart, it's like it's cracked open and it lets all the emotion out of it, right? It comes out in the form of tears. I would recommend watching The Ghost Whisperer. Now, Jennifer Love Hewitt is the producer of that show, and I've been watching it for the last 4 weeks. So I can watch her because she sees dead people like me. She's a lot stronger than I am, but she talks to them when they're not there, and people just think she's nuts, right? So they come to her through objects. So she works in a second-hand store, and whenever she picks something up, that possible person wants her to do something with that particular object. But then they've got an unresolved thing that they haven't been able to move from. They're an earthbound spirit, so she tries to move them on. And I watch that for my grief. It's really helping my heart. Meditation on this is really good, and the resonance, the frequency, the compassion patterns are keeping one stuck and embracing higher and finer frequencies of light. So it's calming for the mind. It assists in releasing worry, fear, anxiety, and past trauma. It clears the emotional body. I'll just shut that window because he's making noise. Sorry. Sorry, but that's a neighbour that's very loud. So excuse that. It's humble, and it helps to stabilise love, compassion, and kindness. It is good for the physical heart trauma or an imbalance. It can help make the heart shift from stress-based physiology to the higher frequencies of love-based physiology. It is ideal for premature babies or someone with a heart disease. And yeah, it says open your heart for love. And the next card I'm going to pull is Tiger's Eye. Let's see. Now, unfortunately, this guy's nice. He lives downstairs, but he has bad hearing, so he can't hear himself. So he speaks above 12 decibels above the average voice. Right. Tiger's Eye is a member of the quartz family. It's fire and earth. It is a balance between polarities and the underlying unity between apparent opposites. It assists in balancing the physical with the spiritual and actualizing spirit through mundane tasks. Tiger Eye helps those who tend to go to extremes find equilibrium in their emotional lives. It can help create harmony between people with different viewpoints, religious beliefs, or approaches to life. It is an excellent ally in bringing harmony to families and relationships where differences of opinion or expression are causing discord. I would be carrying that every day, leading up to Christmas and going to Christmas Day. I used to have wine, even when I was 20, in order to put up with my family members because I used to have different viewpoints, and someone would end up in an argument. So cheers to some wine before you go to visit parents or the in-laws. It's a blood fortifier. It helps general vitality. It is strengthening to the endocrine system. So the endocrine system governs the kidneys and assists in bringing and gets rid of toxins, brings one's hormones and biochemistry into balance. It says, I act with confidence, clarity, balance, fairness, enthusiasm, and strength. Yeah. So it's a strong, strong crystal. I'll be buying everyone just to go and do with family Christmas time or at a funeral. Okay, that's all I have today.